Nicki Minaj may be the queen of rap, but her second album, 2012's Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded, made her a queen of pop too. The follow-up to her platinum-selling debut, 2010's Pink Friday, Nicki had a lot to prove with its sequel. This was the moment to show the general public that she wasn't only here to stay, but that she could also explore different musical styles in her own unique way. Instead of replicating what made the original Pink Friday so great, she decided to go in a different direction for Roman Reloaded. While Pink Friday seamlessly weaved pop and hip-hop together throughout most of its tracks, albeit with some leaning more towards one genre than the other, the songs on Roman Reloaded are firmly divided between rap and dance pop. The first 9 tracks are reminiscent of her debut, featuring more rapping and having more R&B influence, especially on songs like Champion and Right By My Side, two of the more low-key moments. However, Nicki still gives a very theatrical and over-the-top performance that was even wilder than what was seen on Pink Friday. Her alter ego, Roman Zolansky, was in full force for this album, and you could definitely hear it on songs like Come On a Cone and Hove Lane. My personal highlight from the first half is I Am Your Leader, one of my favorite Nicki songs. The sparse, spacey beat, coupled with Nicki's braggadocious lyrics, make it so much fun to sing along with, and Cam'ron and Rick Ross's verses are just as good as hers. Another highlight from the first half is the title track, featuring Lil Wayne. This song bangs, literally. If you've heard it, you know what I mean. It's another one that just makes you feel badass when you're listening to it, even though I can't relate to a single thing she's rapping about. The first half also includes the single Bees in the Trap, which peaked at number 48 on the US Hot 100, which is crazy to me because I remember the song being pretty big, and people still remember it very well over a decade later. Bees in the Trap is a bop, once again featuring a sparse electro hip-hop beat and some great shit-talking from Nicki. It's very representative of Roman Reloaded's first half, as the second half sees Nicki exploring dance and electropop. Nowhere was this more evident than the 10th track, Starships, which was the lead single. This song was massive when it came out, and it really did signal a stylistic change for her. While she certainly incorporated pop in her earlier works, Starships was a straight-up party song meant to get you dancing. It's definitely a product of the early 2010s EDM craze, but that's why it's so great. It's a summery, feel-good banger, and the same goes for the 4th single, Pound the Alarm. This is another one I still listen to regularly. I love the frenzied Eurodance production, the insanely sticky chorus, and the literal alarm sound effect, which is actually sampled from the Britney Spears classic Stronger. Nicki has taste. Honestly, a lot of this album's back half sounds like it could have been sung by Britney, especially songs like Automatic, Young Forever, and Beautiful Sinner, all of which are catchy dance pop bangers that showed how Nicki fits comfortably in that genre. Automatic especially is one of my favorites. It was apparently only a single in France, but man, I wish it was a single in the US so more people could know about it. I need to hear it in the club one day. I seriously won't die happy if I don't. The album winds down a little bit, starting with track 17, Fire Burns, a dreamy R&B ballad that wouldn't sound out of place on Pink Friday. I adored this song. Nicki gives an incredibly emotional and scathing performance against her toxic boyfriend. The minimal, quieter production really drives home the damning lyrics and allows Nicki's heartbroken feelings to come through. Gunshot featuring Beanie Man picks things up a little bit, being a sonically upbeat song with hilariously offsetting dark lyrics about how Nicki will pull out that Glock if anyone tries to take her man. Crazy enough, things get even messier with the final track, Stupid Hoe. A not so thinly veiled diss track against Lil' Kim, this song is absolutely hectic. From the repeated whooping sound effect, Nicki's eccentric performance, and the insanely out-of-pocket lyrics, Stupid Hoe is a song that was clearly meant to be abrasive. I loved it when it first came out, and still do, but I remember it got a lot of hate back in the day. Even now, it still has more dislikes than likes on YouTube, which I wholeheartedly disagree with, but also at the same time can kind of understand. You really need to appreciate Nicki's theatrical, over-the-top, and super silly side to enjoy it, but for anyone that doesn't, it definitely comes across as a mindless, overly annoying track, which was the intention, but still, I get why that wouldn't be everyone's thing. Her trying to belt out, "You a stupid hoe," and then saying she didn't hit that note will never not be funny to me though. I'll randomly hear that part in my head sometimes, totally unprompted. While the standard edition ended on this song, Roman Reloaded had some killer bonus tracks, including my personal favorite song of hers, Va Va Voom. This song will never get old to me. Everything from the fast-paced dance pop production to the extremely thirsty lyrics has always spoke to my soul. I wish she'd do some more tracks like this. Her larger-than-life performance style really fits this genre so well. The other bonus track, Masquerade, is one of her most underrated. It's such a mood booster song, one I could just put on and immediately feel better because of how optimistic and inspirational it is. I remember I first heard it in an Adidas commercial and got obsessed with it soon after. It's an amazing track that deserves way more love. Roman Reloaded was a huge success, and as a result was reissued in November 2012 as Pink Friday Roman Reloaded The Re-Up, breaking the record for the most subtitles you can possibly fit into one name. This reissue had 7 new tracks, 3 of which were singles. The Boys, featuring Cassie, which is a glitchy, almost video gamey sounding track about men who try to buy women's love. Freedom, which is a slower R&B hip-hop track about her accomplishments in the music industry. And my favorite single from the Re-Up, High School, featuring Lil Wayne. This song is incredible. There's a real sense of drama and grandness to it, and Nicki sounds so sexy during the chorus. I'm Legit featuring Sierra and Hell Yeah featuring Parker are my other favorites from the Re-Up. Both of them could have made for great singles. I'm Legit especially is a fun track, with some really funny lines. I'm like really famous, I got a famous anus, no not famous Amos, all this fame is heinous. Those cookies are shaking inside their little packages right now. Meanwhile, Hell Yeah is a go-to pre-game song for me. It just gets me hyped and sets the mood for a fun night. There's something weirdly triumphant sounding about it. It sounds like the point in the night when you've had enough drinks and now you're fully letting loose after a long work week. Or maybe that's just the fantasy that I get from it, but still, a great party track. Overall, Roman Reloaded was a brilliant career move for Nicki. She was able to continue her dominance in hip-hop by proving her rapping capabilities and getting features from huge names like 2 Chainz, Nas, and Lil Wayne. At the same time, she expanded her reach by making more mainstream accessible tracks, and as a result shot into superstardom. She was already a huge name before, but Roman Reloaded was the moment Nicki became truly inescapable. Making dance pop tracks like Starships and Va Va Voom gave her a widespread appeal even among people who didn't listen to hip-hop, and having harder rap songs like Bees in the Trap and High School assured longtime fans that she was still sticking to her roots. This album reminds me a lot of Beyoncé's I Am Sasha Fierce. That album was also split between 2 thematically and sonically different sections, with one side being more intimate and ballad heavy, while the other side was more over-the-top pop. Both records were able to show off the different sides of their respective artists, and both became a massive success among a wide variety of people as a result. If you loved hip-hop, then you had the first half of Roman Reloaded. If you loved dance pop, you had the second half. And if you loved both, then you got a nice, long, truly no-skips album. While I think The Pink Print is objectively her best project, Roman Reloaded is my personal favorite. It's the one I've listened to the most since it has a song for every mood, along with having some of my all-time favorites from her. If you need a pick-me-up record, definitely go back and give this one a listen. Or at the very least, stream Automatic and help it to go viral on TikTok or something. It's 2023, any song from any time can become a hit now, so let's make that one happen.